Hey, it's Reed from Emerald Lotus. Welcome back. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Today we're doing a very fun unboxing of the Findhorn Spirit Oracle cards. So a very interesting fact about this deck right off the hop is that the Findhorn community is actually based in Scotland, and this deck was written and illustrated by Swan Treasure, who actually spent time in meditation, basically doing like an automatic drawing session in the Findhorn community to receive messages from elemental beings and spirit, and she transmuted those messages into this deck's imagery as well as the guidebook. The first third or so of this guidebook really goes into how the deck was co-created between the members of the Findhorn community and spirit. It also explores the significance of the medicine wheel in this deck and how the deck is organized, and offers spreads to use with the cards as well as examples on how to read with them. The card meanings themselves include a really great overview of the actual cards as well as a focus and a practice, which I always love to see in a deck, to have a practical element to the cards. As I mentioned briefly, this deck really is inspired by the medicine wheel, and on the back of the cards here you can see that there are different designs. They represent the portal of the east, southwest, north, and the realms above, the realms below. Bottom left of some of the cards we actually see some of those symbols, and they align with one of those directions. Now let's take a look at the cards that are included in this oracle deck and go over a little bit of the background of this deck. So the Findhorn community has cultivated a loving partnership with the subtle realms since its very beginning, when one of its founders, Dorothy McLean, began communicating with the spirit realm in the original Findhorn Gardens. Following this lineage of communication with nature and the elemental beings, this deck was brought to life in the Findhorn Gardens. Artist Swan Treasure simply allowed the images to appear from her hands onto paper, trusting the powerful energy that asked to be made available. And you can clearly see through her artwork that it really is transmuted from another realm. There's a lot of very interesting symbols, and the cards are incredibly deep. If we look into them, we can see a lot of different shapes and reflections in them as well. They're very, very interesting to look at. I always see something new each time I look at them. Each card depicts a spirit being as they chose to reveal themselves in order to pass on wisdom to help us navigate times of transition. The cards function as energy activators, and through their messages and energies offers support, companionship, and practical guidance. These cards call us to express a greater sensitivity toward all creation, to slow down, open our hearts, and fine-tune our perceptions to retrace our steps to a more authentic, alive, and just a lighter way of living on this planet. The Findhorn Foundation itself is based in the north of Scotland, and it says it's spiritual eco-village community. They really focus on helping humanity pause, reconsider, and co-create a new world, and really try to find meaning in life and explore kinder, joyful ways of living and understanding and exploring spiritual realms, as well as try to really co-create and develop a more sustainable, intentional, and collective way of living. They offer workshops and events as well as retreats. And honestly, it looks like such a beautiful and magical place to be. I'm not surprised that so many beautiful projects have come from this foundation. And if you guys want to invite me, Findhorn, if you ever watch this, I would love to visit. But overall, I think Swan Treasure has done such a fabulous job with the artwork in this deck. I could honestly look at it forever. It's so beautiful. Now that we flipped through all of the cards, let's take a moment to shuffle them up and then pull one and see how the guidebook holds up. So the card that I chose is the Initiation card, and it's from the Portal of the North section of the guidebook. As you can see on the bottom left, that is the symbol for the Portal of the North. This portal represents night, winter, rest, soul, seeds, wisdom, divine father, and timelessness. The guidebook also goes into more depth on what that actually means. I also really appreciate that the guidebook itself is organized by sections and then further organized alphabetically. It makes it really easy to find the card in the guidebook. Initiation, entering the temple. Before I read this one, I just invite you to close your eyes and really receive this message from the spirit world, spirit realm, elemental beings, because it really is transmuted. We are caring from you, from worlds unseen, with great respect for your own earthly journey. We are the temple attendants. Know that all the support you need is available to you right now as part of a divine contract. Remember your heart's desire placed deep within your sacred temple. Why have you come? This initiation is about standing in silence within your holy nature. Before entering the inner sanctum, you may have to shed your old garments to let go of false ideas you may still have about yourself. You no longer need to cover up in order to protect yourself. Your vulnerability is your greater strength. Love your greatest power. Let it guide you through the fears. We are your allies as we are living together in this interconnected, multidimensional reality. We are here to encourage you to design spaces for ritual and rites of passage for yourself and your community. Anyone, anywhere can come up with a way to mark a significant moment in their life. Remember and honor transitions and the precious time that is given to you on this planet. And the guidebook says, focus on rituals, vulnerability, and honor. And then they actually offer a practice to use in a sacred space with a fire. Overall, I think this deck is absolutely stunning, and the guidebook is beyond words. I think it is truly transmuted, and the energy of the guidebook is really beautiful. I feel very blessed because I feel like lately I've been getting these decks that just have these incredible guidebooks that are really setting the tone for what a guidebook should be, and I think this is one of them. I'm so grateful to have this deck in my collection, and I'm thankful to the publisher for sending it to me, and I really hope that you guys enjoy looking at this deck and have had a nice time with this video, and I will absolutely see you in the next one. Bye-bye.